The Mix 105.7.
And joining me now is a few people for a Foreman Fusion from Dickinson State University coming this weekend. Correct, Pattie? Is that correct? Okay. Because I'm joined by Pattie Carr, and I'm joined by Jessica and Rudy, who are going to be here to talk a little bit about the Foreman Fusion that is going to be going on this week. It is a dance extravaganza. Is that what you want to call it?
That's a good word. Thanks for having us, Alan.
No problem.
The annual extravaganza. Yeah,
extravaganza. We'll just start calling it that from now on.
Sounds good.
Can I patent that?
Yep, absolutely. Share it with us.
So you're going to tell us a little bit of the history about Foreman Fusion first of all, and then we're going to kind of talk about what's going on this weekend. So let's have a history lesson today.
Okay. Yeah. Well, it was interesting as we visited before. Moved to town, and I'm an old retired professional dancer, and I was working at the hospital, and Dr. Ken Hott asked me if I would choreograph the student musical, university musical, that year in 1996, and I did it again the following year, and I finally said, I can't do this if we don't have dance classes. Started a jazz level 1 class, which led to a dance minor. For 10 years, up until just a couple years ago, we had the only dance minor in North Dakota in higher ed. UND has one now. It has more of a musical theater focus. Ours is more pure dance. And then from there, established the student performance group. They named themselves years and years ago, Foreman Fusion Dance Company. And that original group, Alan, had 6 defensive starters from the football team.
Wow.
Which, so from the very beginning, cracked the ceiling as far as men and athletes. And in fact, this year, first year, we have as many men as women, or one more. Is it equal?
Equal.
I think it's equal. I think we have as many men as we do women.
So it kind of shatters that stereotype of what you see in movies and stuff, on how it's just really a bad thing to be in the dance. But
for guys,
yeah, it's just terrible.
Yeah. No, that first group, what had happened about that time, so that would have been 12 years ago. Pilates was the thing for athletes to do, and these guys came and took my Pilates class, which I was teaching at the university, which led to me asking them if I had an idea for some choreography that involved bigger guys, and so they were like, yeah, we'll try something different. And now we've just always had athletes. We have actors and musicians and athletes and science majors, and they just come from all across campus.
Well, I'd imagine that in the off season, having some I guess athletic thing to do would be really good for not for just their bodies, but for flexibility, everything, for being on the field or on the court.
Yep.
So okay, well, that's a very interesting history lesson.
Brief
history lesson here on the Mix 105.7. And now we're going to get into what's going on this weekend. And with that, Pattie Carr is going to pass on the microphone to both Jessica and Rudy. Jessica is our student director. As Pattie also said, she's just mainly the director. She's done most of the work as far as choreography and picking the music. And let's just hear a little bit about what's going to go on this weekend. I hear we're going to have some styles that we want to look out for.
We're going to have a bunch of different styles. Some of the styles are, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Burlesque. So we have jazz, then we have some clogging Irish type, we have lyrical and or salsa, and just different types like that.
You sold me at the Irish clogging.
Oh, okay.
It's actually one of my favorite things to watch. It's really cool. And so we got the styles to look. One of the coolest things that I've always liked about Foreman Fusion, I've been to it a couple times, is how the student director always picks. It seems they pick the perfect music to play alongside with the choreography, and it's really cool to watch how a complete unique choreography can go so in line with such a mainstream dance. Mainstream song like from Lady Gaga, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And are we going to see that again this weekend?
I think so. When we first started, we picked a theme, which was evolution, and we kind of went into a different direction, but most of our dances, we related it to that.
Okay. Well, that'll be really interesting to watch. And also here we have some poetry that's going to be going on this weekend at Foreman Fusion. Is that correct, Rudy? We're going to have some poetry?
That is correct. We are going to have some poetry. A member of Foreman Fusion, who is also on the wrestling team, his name is Robert. And Robert is... he majors in English. I believe it's English education. but he's a fantastic writer. And he really writes some very powerful and inspiring poetry. And Miss Carr actually asked him to write 4 poems for Form and Fusion this year. And so one of the types of dances that you'll see is you'll be seeing the dancers performing to Robert's poetry. And so it's really going to be an interesting dance that we have, because the words will tie into the dance along with the music as well. So,
see, and that's what I've always enjoyed about going to the Form and Fusion dance shows, the extravaganza as we're calling it now, is you guys always pull out something that's very unique. And it's something that people in Dickinson probably don't normally see. And so coming here this weekend, this Saturday and Sunday, it's going to be an experience like you've never seen before, going to Form and Fusion. And they're different every year. And that's what I like the most about it. I mean, you will go one year and you'll enjoy the entire show, wish you could see it again. And then the next year, it'll be completely different, and you'll have the same want to see it all over again. And it's such a unique experience that, like I said, I was talking with Pattie Carr earlier, that I so enjoy going. And I was so apprehensive going the first time that I went, too, and I was invited by a friend of mine that was actually in Form and Fusion. And it's a really cool experience to go and watch.
Alan, if I could, thank you. We definitely appreciate that. Our work is different than a little bit than when the actors or the musicians work, because the students create the work first, then they rehearse it, then they perform it. So they start in the fall working on this, and it isn't ever, it really does fit. We tried something different this year, the theme of evolution, and as I was sitting here thinking about it, it didn't work like we thought it would, but it worked very well. Jessica has evolved into a fantastic leader and student director and choreographer over the 3 or 4 years that she's been with me now. And I don't have to worry about some of the details that I used to worry about. Choreography's better, level of dancer is better, and this year we do have 5 or 6 wrestlers involved, which has allowed Jessica to incorporate stunt work into her dance choreography that again takes us to the next level. So it is a very unique effort within the college. It certainly develops collaboration and leadership. Once in a while, people yell at each other.
I'm sure there's your drama.
And you've worked really, really hard. And at the end, you really are, the students really are putting their souls on the stage for people to see.
Yeah, and that's one thing also to point out that you said too. They don't just the start of semester of 2012. They didn't just start doing this in January. I mean, they spend an entire year working on this, and it pays off. Definitely does. Definitely pays off. And I will be really excited to make it if I can this weekend, as usual. And so suppose we should talk about some times. Maybe people want to know when it's going to be so they can come and show up.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this coming weekend, May 5th and 6th, we will be performing. May 5th is our first performance. House opens at 7 o'clock, and we will start at 7:30. May 6th, house opens at 2 o'clock, and we will start performing at 2:30. You can call for reservations to reserve a seat, which is highly suggested because the seats do go fast, but you can purchase your tickets at the door as well. So if you want to call for reservations, you can call 483-2154. And their office hours are from Monday through Friday from 1 to 4.
Okay. And we got adults that are $6, students or seniors and students. Is that high school students or is that college? Because college students get in free, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay, so seniors and high school students, $5. And then, of course, your DSU students, faculty, staff, they get in free. The unique thing of just showing your little student ID. That was my favorite thing to do when I was in college. I'm not in college anymore. I'm sad.
Yeah, well, we're proud of you for graduating.
Well, thank you. So this weekend, I mean, if you have nothing to do or if you have something to do, set it aside. Go May 5th, May 6th. They have 2 unique times when you need. So if you can't make it in the evening on Saturday, head on over. The house will open at 2 on Sunday, you said?
Yep.
So you can head on over at 2 o'clock, get your seat soon, because it does fill up fast. I got there about 5 minutes too soon, or too late almost, the first time I went. And I was just really impressed with the community, that how they come, and they definitely assist in, being the audience as far as coming and checking this out. And I highly recommend coming and checking out Dickinson State University's Form and Fusion, coming this weekend, May 5th and 6th. And adults are $6, seniors and high school students $5, and then of course your DSU students, faculty, and staff are free. Is there anything else you want to point out before we let you go?
I guess I just piggyback on what you said. I thank the community for all their support, and thank you, Alan, for having us today.
No problem. I jumped at the chance when I heard that you were going to be doing Form and Fusion, because like I said, I'm a really big fan. So, well, thank you very much, Jessica. Thank you very much, Rudy. Thank you very much, Pattie, Carr, as always. Like having you here on the air. You always bring something unique and fun to our station. So thank you very much. You have a nice day.
You too, Alan. Thank you.
All right. Well, that was Form and Fusion coming up this weekend. If you missed the interview, I will have it online here in just a little while. I'll crunch down really fast. It's time for some Crystal Bauer Socks, Farmer's Daughter.
Playing the best music and the best variety. The Mix 105.7.